Hello, everybody, and welcome to Reviews That Don't Matter Which Jessica Hit. My name is Jessica Hit, and on today's episode, we are talking about The Defenders. It premiered last week. Took me a while to review it, but I had to stew on it for a little bit. As you know, The Defenders is on Netflix. It's a Netflix Marvel co-creation series thing that is sort of just the Netflix version of the Avengers. And basically, you have four of our superheroes that we've been following. First one is Daredevil. We met Jessica Jones, we met Luke Cage, and then we met Iron Fist. We've gotten 2 seasons of Daredevil and one of the other 3. And we are coming in pretty hot from Iron Fist into an 8-episode team-up show, which is interesting because all of the other Netflix things have been like 13 episodes, so it was very interesting to go to 8, which I thought was much better in my opinion. And I will preface this with saying I've only seen 3 of the 4 people. I have not seen Luke Cage. I saw Luke Cage and Jessica Jones, but I have not seen the actual show Luke Cage, which I will get to eventually. I'll do a review on it. I've done my Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, and Daredevil reviews. Here's a little recap. I did not like the first season of Daredevil. I loved the second season. It's my favorite out of all of it. Jessica Jones was pretty good, and Iron Fist was a mess. And you know what? Iron Fist was still a mess in this. And I understand that they filmed Defenders before Iron Fist came out, so they didn't really have any of those reviews from critics and from audiences. They didn't get the feel of how people would like Iron Fist, and he was kind of a focal point in this, which was a little frustrating. And while I liked everybody together as a team dynamic, even with Iron Fist, I thought he worked really well with the others. Iron Fist was by himself for too much, because this show kind of made me hate him even more than I did before, which is saying a lot. Also, Colleen Wing is just, she's so much better than Danny Rand's Iron Fist. Like, come on, girl, you can do better. Like, leave this sorry sucker. Oh, and also, just so you know, I probably will be spoiling things, so if you have not seen The Defenders, please go watch it and then come back to this. Please, I need the views. I thought The Defenders was really fun. I did. It was kind of hard because some episodes I was really into it, and there are some episodes where I was having a hard time really giving a crap about it, quite honestly. I think the best is when all of them are together. I think that, they're so much fun together because their personalities are so different and so established that they're ready to play off each other. And it was kind of nice, like, you get little things. Like, you saw Jessica and Luke kind of reunite for the first time since the finale of Jessica Jones. And, as not crazy as I was about that whole thing, I really enjoyed it in The Defenders, and kind of this sort of, I still care about you, and there was a lot of chemistry between them. I thought that really worked. I loved seeing Jessica Jones and Daredevil together. I thought they were like a really fun duo as well. And then you also get to see Luke Cage and Danny Rand's Iron Fist together. And I thought that was kind of like what made Iron Fist shine in this season. The only bit of him that shined has ever in his season or this Defenders thing. In fact, I'd be fine if they just canceled Iron Fist 2 and just did Heroes for Hire, which in the comics they team up together and they do these Heroes for Hire missions. I think that would be a fun TV show to do because, I don't know, it's tough to say, and we don't get too much of Iron Fist background characters. Like, little characters showed up from all of these people. Like, obviously, Daredevil, main, we're going to get Karen Page, and we're going to get Foggy. And Karen Page was awesome, as usual. She's great. It didn't lead as well into Punisher as I was hoped for her character arc. But then again, this is The Defenders. It's not Daredevil Season 3. It's not supposed to necessarily do that. And of course, we get Stick in this, and Stick, if you watch my Daredevil stuff, I don't really care much for him. There's something about his character that really irks me, and not even in a good way, how like characters piss you off in a good way. It's really just, I found him so boring, unentertaining. Like, so quite honestly, I was kind of glad that he died in this, to tell you the truth. I really was. Obviously, Elektra's in this. She was kind of the main villain of this. And then you get, from Jessica Jones' world, you get Malcolm, who kind of gets the short end of the stick. Also, we get Trish Walker in this, and I like Trish Walker. I think she can be a little annoying, but I do like her character, and it's going to be interesting to see her possibly turn into Hellcat. We don't get much of it. You do see some detective skills kind of coming from her. A little bit of Jessica rubbing off on her with the whole... She's kind of discovering things about the earthquake that happened in the first episode. Which got everything rolling. She knows that there's something fishy going on. And then you do get to see a lot of Luke Cage's characters. Misty Knight's in this. Misty Knight was, I know a lot of people are crazy about her and they really love her. She's a standout character. Maybe I need to see Luke Cage to really appreciate her. But in this, I kind of just felt like it was not a weak character, but just not a crazy great character. I know she's going to get a bionic arm in Luke Cage Season 2, so I do have to watch the Season 1 of Luke Cage before that. Also, you see the first bits of her and Colleen together. So it'll be interesting to see if Netflix eventually does that. Maybe when they're doing a Heroes for Hire, they'll also do a Colleen Wing and Misty Knight thing going. I think that would be cool. And for Iron Fist, of course, we get Colleen Wing. That's really the main character. And then we get... Nurse. Claire Temple. Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot her name. We get Claire Temple, which of course has been in all of these. She's kind of this person that brings everybody together, which is kind of crazy that she's never mentioned anyone else to anyone else. Even though Luke Cage and Jessica Jones, obviously they knew each other, and everyone knows of the Devils of Hell's Kitchen. I like how he's kind of just like this... this hero that's just like going around. He's like the savior of the city, and everybody likes this Daredevil / Hell's Kitchen devil thing. And he's been missing, and people have noticed he's been missing, which is why, of course, we see the 5 fingers of the hand decide to do what they were going to do. And here's what I say. We have gotten a lot of the hand. And it was nice to finally kind of understand what it was, that there was 5 real leaders that all come from Kunlan, who use these powers to sort of like be immortal in a way, and like I don't know, they drink some kind of like dragon blood, or I don't quite know how they stayed alive. I just, in my mind, oh yeah, they're immortal. I like what they did with it. I mean, obviously Madame Gao is awesome. You have Bakudo coming back, and then 2 newbies who I thought were really great, and then you get Sojourner Weaver, who does a really great job. But the thing is with the fingers is they like, I don't know. I feel like there was missing something, and especially considering the show kills off Sojourner Weaver, I think in episode 6, at the end of episode 6 or something like that. And it really just feels like it's for shock value and not actually for the plot or for the storytelling of the season. It's really just to do a plot twist, which it was a great plot twist because you never saw it coming. And I liked this idea of Elektra kind of being a lot more present than she was giving out to them, like to them. And from what we saw as viewers, she was kind of like this mindless warrior for them, the Black Sky. And really, she was more in control of her mind than anyone thought. And yeah, she just kills Sojourner Weaver. And it was just, I don't know. And the way it went down, too, is like, she stabs him and was like, it's Matthew, because she was ordered to kill the devil of Hell's Kitchen, Daredevil, which they got, they're in love, they're soulmates, blah, blah, blah. And it kind of made it seem like, oh, okay, because at the end of the episode you think, oh, she's going to escape and she's going to kind of join the Defenders. No, she just takes over the hand, which why would any of them allow that to happen? I mean, I know she's, like, really great, but, like, she can fight with Daredevil perfectly fine, like, on their own. Daredevil's probably a little bit stronger than her, but she can't take on a whole, like, 4 fingers, or 3 fingers at that time, of the hand. Even though Madame Gao's one of them, you still have Bakudo, who's super strong, and you had the other guy who was, like, the Asian guy that was, like, really mysterious and didn't talk much. I can't remember his name, but he was a great fighter. They couldn't have tried to subdue her, so that kind of felt very weird that they would even let her be, you know, in charge of the hand. Oh, God, it was just like, that was a little frustrating. I don't know. I feel like I really liked learning some backstory on that, but I wish I would have gotten more. Like, maybe I wish they would have popped up more in the series. Like, this is the first time we were meeting two of them. Madame Gao, I thought, got, like, a pretty good introduction through her series. And then Bakudo had a really strong moments in Iron Fist, where he kind of, like, was the one recruiting a whole bunch of people. And I like how each of them kind of had their own distinct personalities and jobs of the hand. But I just think it needed to be explored a little bit more. And maybe make it a 10-episode arc, you know, in the Defenders. Instead of an 8-episode, you get two hours to kind of flesh out what's going on with the hand. Even if we got just a hand-centric episode, I think that would have been really fun. Maybe like a flashback or just quite literally them. And also what I will say with all of those little characters from all of the four series, it did feel like they were a little bit shoehorned in, you know? Not completely, like it didn't feel so unnatural, but it did feel a little bit just like pushing it kind of in the way of everything, which I think is fun. I mean, you know, I enjoyed The Defenders. I think it's a perfectly fine series. It's probably number 2 on my list of favorites for Netflix, which isn't saying much considering really the only one that I've ever really, really liked and loved is Daredevil Season 2. Everything else has been a bit of a miss, in my opinion. Even though I still really like Jessica Jones, I haven't seen Luke Cage, so I might really, really enjoy that. Iron Fist is a mess. I hate Daredevil Season 1, so this is kind of an easy slip-in second, even though I do think there's a lot of issues with it. I think that, first of all, you made me hate Iron Fist more than I hated Iron Fist before. Danny Rand is the dumbest character ever. He's just so stupid. Like, I understand he grew up in Kunlun and he was just training to become a warrior, but really, they're not gonna, like, train him to also use his mind and not be a moron. And also, like, Daredevil kind of, like, trusting his city to him seems a little bit weird. You know, like, I didn't really feel like they necessarily had as much of a connection as he had with Jessica or Luke Cage had with Danny Rand. And I do kind of like, you know, talking this out, I kind of get the point of he told Danny because he thought that Danny would be the only one that would actually be able to leave him down there. Luke and Jessica would be too much of, no, we're not leaving without you type thing if he said that. And you get this really kind of, really good fight between him and Elektra that ends in, like, this make-out scene, and then they get buried by rubble. And apparently they're not dead, but, you know, they could have died, and I would have been fine. Even though I do think that Daredevil was probably the best part of the Defenders, with Jessica Jones kind of closely behind. So overall, it was pretty good. I think it was a little messy, especially, like, the more and more I think about it. I probably won't want to rewatch it necessarily. But it does get me excited for Defender Season 2 because obviously this is the origin of them. I'd like to see them get together, see who they add, if Hellcat's a thing at the time, if Colleen and Misty Knight are kind of more superhero-ish, and then of course if we get the Punisher in there. I don't know if he ever joins it. I don't know if he does it in the comics either. I don't know if he's considered a Defender. But I'm like the biggest fan of the Punisher and Jon Bernthal. If you watch my videos, you know that. I'm obsessed with Jon Bernthal. So I'm excited to see what they do with that, and if he does join the crew, which I think I would really like to see that dynamic, especially with Luke and Jessica and the Punisher, Frank Castle. I think that would be really fun. Also, putting Danny Rand in there, he's just like, who is this guy? That would be fun. I like that. Let's do it. Defenders Season 2, add the Punisher, please. Anyway, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below, what did you guys think of the series? Overall, like, where does it rank with your Netflix series? And then also subscribe, please. I need the subscribers. I'm close to 100 right now. I make videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday most of the time. I'm getting back into the group. Sorry, I've been a little lazy lately, but on Friday you will be getting sort of a Game of Thrones season review as opposed to my episodic reviews, which I've been doing all Mondays. Friday you will get how I feel about the whole season as a whole. of course. And then I've got Death Note coming up. I've got the Matrix trilogy, which I've never seen, coming up, so I'm going to watch that. It's on Netflix. Whole bunch of stuff. So stay tuned, subscribe, and I will see you guys on Friday. Bye.